What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to another skill edition video in which I'm going to give you an in-depth analysis of my combat decisions in real time and my thoughts, okay? But first off, FR clan, you might want to make sure that this cheating from your boy Yoi doesn't reflect back on your clan. It's not so cool. And also here's the ID Pixonic, you know what to do. Now, this video was set out to be a video about skill gameplay analysis where I explain the thoughts during combat and basically help you also make better decisions in battle, and there is a large segment of that coming here too, but I completely lost it here with a different topic telling you why and how blinding will ruin Warrobots going forward, because, well, it is. It's not the only thing you're gonna see. We're gonna also have a look at some amazing Lynx gameplay, and the Ultimate Invader is also a bit of a topic here as well, even though I've already made a video. So much for the intro, let's go to the skill edition part of this video. I know the Reaper Creeper to my left, I was just trying to bait him by firing at the Fenrir. It worked like a charm, now I can drop him. I have to reload, so I'm gonna retreat behind cover. I know that the Fenrir is not a big problem because those Punisher ultimates are bypassing his resistance completely, so we can drop him quickly. The Ophion is a bit of a problem, but not much I can do about it. I can only try and stay under him for when he lands, so I can get him easily. And that works. He even gets himself a Battleship shield, but it's okay, because I can actually stay close inside of it and drop him like that. Unfortunately though, it's team deathmatch, and that means everybody can just easy spawn right behind me and ruin my entire day with the sonic weapons that prevent any kind of healing. I can't do much about it, especially since it's team deathmatch and I'm deep in enemy territory, something I should not have gotten myself into, but it happened now. I'm trying to make the best of it, trying to get the Reaper Crisis robot over there before I die, but didn't work anymore. So just one thing ahead, not every decision I make in this video here is necessarily a good one. You shouldn't play Team Deathmatch and get yourself into the enemy base, because the end result is gonna be death, unless you're running one of those ridiculous maybe Okokochis or so where you can never die. But normally, you'll just get yourself killed and you're standing against overwhelming odds, like I was in that situation. Nonetheless, I'm always trying to make the best out of every situation, and sometimes I just want to record some action gameplay. I don't want to sit back and stand next to my sniper teammates and just wait for someone to make a move. No, I'm just going in and I'm just gonna seek the action and the fun. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just jumping myself into action, even though I know it's not a good choice overall, but I also think I can handle most situations, and that's how we are right here. Now, that Ophion had a really unlucky spawn. He spawned so close to me that I could kill him inside his shield. Also, that guy right here, even though I don't have cloak detection, he has used his stealth ability at the wrong time, and so I was able to drop him. Now, I expect 3 or 4 guys to spawn here, in which they do immediately. So this time, learning from my previous thing, I'm jumping into another situation, something the Rook can do very well. You can just escape problems and jump away from them. Then I jump back in shortly after I notice where the action is, where the players are, and I think I can overlook the next couple of seconds. There could be a Titan spawning in, but I don't think there will be 3 Titans at the same time in an instant. So I think I can handle whatever they throw at me right now. Replacing the shields from time to time, just to make sure that whenever I have an engagement, the Rook shields are fully locked and loaded. They may not be working against all those Explo weapons, but they sure work against everything that has problems with physical shields. And so, yeah, it's good. Now, I'm getting close to him, and I keep firing through his last stand because my heavy alpha weapon in the middle is able to deal full damage to him despite his last stand. And so I was able to drop him before he had the next ability. Now, here comes a little taste of what I'm about to show you here in this video and why I say blinding is going to absolutely ruin Warbots going forward. I got just blinded here attacking the enemy by an angler, and I'm able to fire for 3 seconds or so until I get blinded again. An effect so game-breaking that it leaves me unable to even defend myself or fight back. Now, you could argue, hey Manni, you got yourself into this stupid situation against multiple anglers. Well, it's kind of going to happen then, and you're right? That is correct. I had the whole team on me, and of course I'm gonna get killed. That's what I said to you earlier, that you need to be careful with that. But this is just the anglers, which weren't really a big deal so far. But going forward, we'll have the new Mute Battleship coming in, adding 10 seconds of blinding EMP and lockdown, and that is going to be a problem. Anyway, so far I've been doing okay in the battle because I was just seeking quick action and not really playing strategically, but that changes right here, right now. This is the moment I activated my skills here in battle because I realized that it's not a decisive victory just yet, and I actually have to play good in order to win. That is great. I like matches like this. So let's do that. finishing the angler that was trying to raid our spawn, and then going for the next angler right here, emptying my clip, noticing a Newton choke. That means I activate my stealth ability and all his firepower went into nowhere. Then knowing when he fires again, I'm triggering the phase shift as I land without stealth. Boop. Next shot of his does no damage. The Lynx is one of the very few robots that can do that. Activating my stealth ability to quickly execute the enemy before he gets into another ability charge, and then attacking the Newton. Now, knowing how the Newtons operate, and that Pixonic thought it's a good idea to not just bump you up for a second, but literally leave you hanging out in the open with the choke ability until you're dead, I'm seeking the only place in that entire map in which I can not get lifted. So I'm standing under this bridge here and waiting out my stealth ability. Coming out, executing that Titan, and coming in for another run. Again, seeking cover underneath that roof because I know exactly what happens. That's right, the Newtons were just waiting for that chance to choke me and lift me up. So again, I'm under that roof, making that not possible. Meanwhile, I regenerated my stealth ability and I have my phase shift ready, so now I'm feeling confident enough to go out and face hug the enemy Newton here and attack him in a brawl. Battleship is ready, so I can get myself on shield, but I keep it because maybe I need it later when I go out for another attack run. Recharging the short cooldown for stealth again, coming out for another attack, using the Battleship to block the first 2 shots. Using first the stealth to stay alive in the air and also trying to execute the enemy somehow doesn't work even though he's low HP, but now phase shift is ready to prevent the loss of my first last stand. Reloaded in the meantime and then hiding behind the enemy because there is such a thing as blocking firepower with friendly line of fire, and then getting the first Titan out of the way. Now, all my abilities are used up. I will get hit by the next one, so my second phase shift from the Shade Drone is now going to go away here, but thankfully I stay alive a little longer. Also, the homing bullets won't do a thing for me because I'm still in my last stand. Now coming out in stealth, maximizing the damage I can do here, and then also being ready with a phase shift. Unfortunately, I make a little mistake. I could have waited for 2 more seconds with that phase shift. I could have baited one of his shots. I activated my phase shift too early, and as a result, he did not fire because he saw it, and he didn't waste his shot. I should have waited 2 seconds until he begins to fire and then uses my phase shift, and he would have sent that entire salvo into nowhere. That would have bought me 4 or 5 seconds more time. Thankfully, my stealth ability comes back just in time. I can execute the next Newton, getting the 3rd Titan killed, and still being in the game. I quickly learned that this player seems to be missing me with all his shots when I roll around quickly, and then I see his clan boy buddy coming up in a Ravana. Knowing that he probably doesn't have his finger on the ability, thinking I'm busy with his friend, I'm giving him 2 big shots and then timing it so that he comes out of the ability, gets killed immediately. He absolutely did not see that coming. He thought I was busy with his Lynx friend here, but map awareness allows me to deal very effectively even with multiple opponents at the same time, abusing the fact that they think they get shot for a second and activate all their abilities, and therefore then are helpless later when I really want to kill them. It's kind of the secret to being successful even against multiple opponents, is to bait their abilities whenever possible, okay? So the first match is over, 10.2 million damage done, 17 kills, hard carried this match. Let's jump into another one. This also, by the way, is a separate video that I've probably released earlier. The Kramola Dagon is a lot of fun because there's something magic about not needing to see the enemy to kill the enemy. But anyways, let's go and carry the match some more. From the center here, I'm very exposed, but somehow the enemy is dealing with the outer edges of the map, allowing me to actually perform really well from the center. Also, I have the Battleship ready to always help out when there is an emergency. And then I'm jumping into the Titan. Normally, you wouldn't sacrifice a full robot, especially when you expect the match to go on for a longer time. I don't expect that, and that's why I do it. Also, I wanted to record some Titan gameplay here for you, and so I favored the Rook. And also, that was a minute into the gameplay. Sometimes the effect or the impact of a Titan spawned early can be so crazy powerful, and so much more than you could ever do with a regular robot. So sometimes it's really useful to do this. However, you should never, and that's what I keep telling you, don't get yourself into the enemy spawn and outnumber 3 or 4 to 1. That is generally a bad idea. Even your most powerful setups will probably end up getting destroyed by that, because there is just little you can do. Also, look, targeting malfunction. 10 seconds full EMP and target malfunction because of the new Mute Battleship. And that is not the first time, this is not the only time this is going to happen. This is going to happen a lot now. Just take a look at this, how this one Mute Battleship in this game ruins my gameplay. So the enemy Ohokochi thought it's a good idea to one-on-one me. No, my friend, I was happy that you chose this fight, because that is a fight you will not win. And especially not against these super powerful plasma shotgun. I wanted to jump on the Arthur, but of course the stupid Rook always jumps straight onto a target. I'm trying to get the target out of aiming sight so I could jump into the open, but unfortunately in the last split-second targeting system kicked in and ruined my jump completely. Now here to improve what I did there, I went into this one-on-one brawl and I just traded. But you don't have to trade with a Rook. I could have just turned around and let him waste all his firepower in my physical shields and killed him afterwards without taking any damage, but at the same time I needed to gather damage so that I can get the repair amplifier to fully kick in and protect me with unmitigated resistance, so it wasn't really a big deal at that point. But again, you can do that better with a Rook than I did it here. Now, of course, the Invader is avoiding the fire by these Titan weapons. I would do the same thing because that ends him pretty instantly. But eventually, I think he decides that his Titan is ready and he wants to get that. First, the Seraph comes in, and the Seraph had a nerf, so when you just deal a little bit of damage, you can actually kill him in his flight. And so that's what I did, and now you can see this guy is spawning his Titan, and that would not be a problem. I would like to fight his Titan, but the problem is the Mute Battleship. He comes in first suppressing me with this, and then bop, Mute Battleship. 10 seconds, full lockdown, suppression, and EMP. 10 seconds, that's a lifetime in a battle situation against another Titan, and I cannot replace my shields, I cannot move, I cannot shoot, I can't do nothing, I'm completely disabled for 10 full seconds. Then I can fight the enemy for a bit, and I shoot one of the enemy Rooks down from above, where I can bypass his shield, and that's why I didn't land and jump on him. I knew I can shoot over his shields from high up, and that's what I've done right there. Now, we're turning around, fighting back this thing, and boop, there's his battleship again. 10 full seconds, lockdown, suppression, and EMP. Nothing I can do. 100% helpless, completely unable to fight back. That is a great idea in a robot fighting game, Pixonic. I really have to applaud you here. I would have the skills to punish this player for every mistimed reload and every mistimed ability jump or reflector use, like right now. But that battleship completely disables any skill from this encounter. I can no longer use any of my abilities and my own skill set to counter. It only takes a few seconds, and what happens? Bop, 10 seconds, EMP, blinding, and lockdown. Great! That is so much fun. Then in the between, you always get suppressed too. I'm suppressed as well. And targeting still disabled. I can't do anything. And now I can bring my shields in, but it's too late because they're all dropped, so I couldn't heal back. Because all my shields are disabled, so I can't pop my shields for health. So for a few seconds, I'm able to walk around with no problems, and then 10 seconds, EMP, blinding, and lockdown. Isn't that fun? That leads me to believe there's at least 2 players, or there is exactly 2 players with a Mute Battleship here, because I think one of them couldn't trigger so often. Now, thankfully, for at least a few seconds, I can actually control my robot and get a kill. Then I'm going to start flying, and I thought I got blinded by the angler below, but no, it's a 10-second blinding together with all the effects and EMP. So again, it was the Mute Battleship again. And clearly that shows you, ladies and gentlemen, an effect that is so game-breaking to leave you absolutely unable to control. You have literally no control over anything anymore. You're just a free kill for anybody coming at you. How can it be that an effect this problematic and impactful does not give you an immunity against these effects for at least 30 seconds? 30 or 40 seconds is the minimum of immunity time you should get to these effects after you've been affected by the Mute Battleship. Because otherwise this is nothing other than an always win button that is literally ready at a button's press. From space. You just press a button and, well, space locks you down, EMPs you, and blinds you. And we have to say at this point, battleships shouldn't even be in the game to begin with. This is a robot shooter. The fact that every YouTuber in this game and every player in this game literally told Pixonic, scrap your battleship idea, it's horrible, we're not interested. But no, Pixonic needed a new layer of power. A layer of sales is what it really is. And, in the beginning it was robots and weapons. Then upgrading to Mark III. Active modules came in. Passive modules came in. Then it came Titans, pilots, drones, Titan modules, drones, microchips, which was then scrapped, battleships, Titan pilots, battleship turrets, and next comes battleship captains or whatever. And every time, everything is broken when it comes in, destroying the game to the point of what you're seeing right here. Battleships have absolutely no place in this game at all, and a button's press to reduce enemy robots down to ashes or disrupt their targeting is absolute horse crap, and it shouldn't be in this game to begin with. And when this all came with the battleships, we were calmed down by saying, don't worry, there will not be such a big impact from the battleships, and look what we have now. And it was just 2 battleships probably here in this game that single-handedly ruined this entire game for me and the entire gaming experience to the point where I don't really want to experience that again. Look, I attack this player again, he presses a button and another 10-second blinding EMP and lockdown, which is probably for 2 minutes already throughout this battle I had these effects. In a robot shooter, which only purpose is to fight other robots and have fun doing carnage and letting everything explode, you know, experimenting with all kinds of different setups that are all interesting and fun, but it's not, because Pixonic basically carves out the entire meta for you and tells you what you need to use next. So the whole strength of the game, the fact that there's so many different weapons and robots that you could use and have fun with, is all scrapped by the fact that Pixonic needs a new meta. So there it is. That's what you must use now. You're not using it, sorry, you're not gonna win. I'm really sorry that this video has turned into something like this again. I didn't plan on doing this. I wanted to make this just you know, gameplay analysis and strategy stuff, but I just couldn't let it slide. What this battleship has done to me in this one match, how this one button press over and over completely ruined the entire gaming experience, I can't let that slide. There's no way I'm gonna ever accept something like this in this game and ruin it like this without fighting back. That's not me. I'm gonna fight back, and I'm gonna fight for you guys and for the health of this game, because somebody has to do it, apparently. Pixonic clearly isn't interested in keeping the game healthy and fun. The important and sad thing here is to remember that this is just the beginning and the tip of the iceberg that we're seeing right now. The first players having these battleship, and look at the impact already. Now imagine 5 out of 6 enemies in the enemy team have that battleship. Do you want to play in that kind of an environment? I clearly don't. It's no fun. Instead, you could have a bright future with this game that runs perfectly, that has a very healthy, balanced environment where players enjoy their investments for a long period of time, and variety is driving the content, and maybe skins and fun, and not and also more players attract more players, and so on. No. Instead, I'm sitting here and wondering, why am I trying to produce such high quality video content when even Pixonic doesn't seem to value their product at all? It's sad. Anyways, we're jumping into one more situation here with the Sonic Rook. This time I switched to the Sonic weapons. Yeah, trying to do a lot of damage here against so many overwhelming enemy odds or numbers. But the Sonic weapons have this high DPS for a short time. You can really kill anything pretty much instantly. Yeah, and then even a Titan. And just reload for a while and turn your shields. That's also what makes the Rook so powerful, is that you can unload and then turn your shields and then reload. Now this Mugomets here is lucky, he's just getting his ability in time. Half a second longer and I would have gotten him there. But yeah, you see, once that once that repair amps, 2 of them I have, are stacked fully, then basically there's no more damage coming into the Rook. Like, he is almost immune to any incoming damage at that point. Those players tickling me there with the lasers is like they could just, they do it or not do it, doesn't really matter. It's just way too much damage that they would have to do. And weapons just simply can't do this much damage. Unfortunately, this luchador here had his resistance kicking in just the right time. So I finished emptying the clip, getting ready, showing him the shields, and then hopefully we're gonna do something about it. First getting the Orpheon and then trying to get him. Yep. Oh, almost the entire Rook killed. He jumped to try and save himself, but sorry, the luchador. Almost the entire luchador killed. Reloading, coming in. I think he's gonna have his reflector back. Yep. And now everything that happened so far leads up to this one moment. His jump was used, his reflector is used, and now he's vulnerable. And in that teeny tiny time window that I get to finally destroy this robot, between all his invincibilities, I catch a random blinding from an angler who's just walking by to get to the beacon and ruin that moment and that chance to kill him entirely again. And my gameplay goes out the window. That is just a 5-second blinding from an angler. Now you're about to add 10-second EMP blinding and lockdown to the game from a single button press from space. Not a good idea. Really, really not.